Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. First and foremost, happy Mother's Day to all the birthers out there. I forgot what you guys are called. Shoot. It was good. It was good. You guys are called birthers. Human birthers. Congrats to all you. No, actually, never mind. Mother's Day. You can be anybody. Anybody that's a mom. Anyway, shout out to all you moms doing the hard stuff. The stuff that needs to be done. The teachers of our children. Let's rock and roll. So we're going to talk about why I'm short the market. We're going to break down the market, the dollar. It used to be the dollar, the Russell, the NASDAQ, the S&P. But every time I'd go into the Russell, I would talk about what I did on the S&P. And the NASDAQ and the S&P a lot lately have been almost identical. The same story. So I did switch those on the watch list. So it will be the dollar. And when we break down the dollar, I'll talk about Bitcoin, occasionally gold. But then it'll be the S&P, the NASDAQ, and then the Russell. So let's do this. I'll tell you said that, Lori. Anyway, genuinely, happy Mother's Day to everybody. You guys all deserve it. Cody says, I like SPY first for sure. Yeah, how many times have I gone into like why I bought the dip and the Russell's just kind of like sideways, but we're on the Russell? All right. I am still short the dollar. We could just now as far as the to catch everybody up, I've been on like a weekly, monthly time frame. We just got a little bit too far, so it went down to time to make or break kind of thing. So if the dollar did get above this zone, above that wick, I was going to just be out. So we did reject out of there. Currently, right now, we got a little baby bear flag and a little bigger bear flag. Okay, like a little kangaroo setup is what we're going to call that. That's proprietary. Don't take that information anywhere else. Right now, I'm sharing on all platforms, including Twitter. X is what I meant to say. Anyway, the kangaroo pattern. It's something I've been meaning to tell you guys for a while. It's a bearish pattern. It's a baby bear and a big bear in the shape of a kangaroo. You're gonna wanna pay attention. All right, as far as Bitcoin goes, still hanging out. I need this lower. I just need this lower. There's some trolling to be done. Even though I watch my money go down when this goes down, it's gonna be so much. It's gonna be worth it. It's gonna be worth it. So I need Bitcoin to drop below this level right here. Says I didn't know this was Wild America. What? All right. Let me get my other chat up, by the way. All right, S&P. Let's get on to the daily, actually. As a matter of fact. Friday, a whole lot of nothing. Thursday, sucked. So I've been short. And talk about the NASDAQ. Now, I've been in and out. Now, last week, I think I traded ES maybe once or twice. I traded NQ quite a bit. I was in SQQQ calls. I was also in SQQQ shares. I'm still in the shares. The calls did expire, worthless. Unfortunately, I bought those calls, not sold them. So, sucks. And if you've known me for any amount of time, I usually spend more time making fun of options on TQQQ and SQQQ. They've never had the liquidity, but now that they finally are, there's some volume in there. So the past couple of weeks have kind of been in them. They're okay. Cold says he's long Bitcoin, short the S&P, all in GME. It's just the usual. We haven't really gone into futures real quick, but let me know what you guys think about this real quick. And would it, I don't know if it would correlate to the stock market. I'm sure the GME folks are all about that. GameStop is buying up Pokemon cards. They're going to get into the card business, which, if you don't know anything about that, it's actually a pretty big business. I'm very curious how that pans out. It's been around since 1999. It's something I did when I was a kid, was open up Pokemon cards. But they're buying graded cards, which I thought was... And so you send your card off, it gets a grade, comes back, gym mint, all that. Just like they do with sports cards. I'm sure a lot of people know about that. Anyway, they want to start selling singles in there, which in a digital world I think would be kind of cool. But then do they all just convert to card stores? I thought that was very interesting. If I short the S&P and make money, I'm gonna send you one chocolate gold coin. Um, well, I hope I get that gold coin. Because right now, I mean, we played the back and forth game between these two zones, jumped up into that one. Friday, we got above the, we got, yeah, so here we go. So this is Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday. Monday, we shot up almost the expected move. Now we held out there, we gapped it back down, and then full send, like we went for it. So a little bit of take profit Friday still had us right up there, almost at 2 standard deviations. You want a Pokemon PSA 10 card? I don't really collect those. Uh, GameStop sounds like a desperate business plan. Steve, that was my first thoughts. But now, Steve, you're a business man. Gaming is very digital. GameStop used to be you had to go there to physically buy the games, the disc, the cartridge. But now you can get a remote there. You can get the console. At least this is a physical, it is a tangible item, which I thought was a move in the right direction. If you have a brick and mortar store, it's certainly going to be hard to sell a lot of those digital, digital stuff. I guess I don't know. I'm neutral on it, but I'm certainly not buying GameStop stock. I have better things to do. Cocoa prices are extremely high. Bookstores also used to be a big thing. Very true. And then Amazon came along. All right. As far as the S&P goes, short, which sucks because this was my alert to go short. Which anyway, I did that day. Obviously, not still in. I'm not bag holding this, but what I want to see is us break down. I think I'm trying not to sound all doom and gloom. Also, I don't want to lead you guys in the wrong direction because if you're just playing the trend, you're just going to be long. Everything about this is bullish. It looks fine. Everything about this trend looks good to just be long. To say that we're overbought is essentially the same thing as walking up to a casino, like a roulette table, seeing it's landed on black the last 6 times and putting your money on red. It's not a very profitable strategy. But I do think, the volume's been lighter. The moves have been weaker. It's almost like walking on eggshells. Now, a move like this, just a red day like that, is kind of what I'm playing right now. Is a pullback. Whether the market crashes, corrects, full blown, just melts down to here. We'll cross that bridge later. What I'll end up doing is if I'm right and it sells off, I'll put my stop in the green. I'll trail it. We'll see what happens. But right now, pulling back into that yellow zone would also be a decent dip buy for anybody playing the trend. That certainly would. And it's something I'll even be doing. If we hit this zone, I will buy the ES contracts long. Maybe some S&P calls, maybe some ES calls. I trade futures, but then I'm in SPY calls. It doesn't make sense. I know it. There's tax advantages. There's a million reasons why you should just be in ES calls. But anyway, that's what I'll be in. But I need to make that transition over. What I'll watch out for here is how high the Bulls take it after that. Let's see when the Bears finally get the ball, let's see how far they can run it. If we bounce here, do we base out? Do we just bounce and full send back up? So that's something I'll probably catch that knife on. It's certainly a knife catch right now. To be going short, but hopefully we send it. The really stupid indicator, yeah, even that's the RSI. It's what that actually stands for, by the way. Your guru might have called it the relative strength index, but he was wrong. Man, are we even overbought on any time frame? Okay, 4 hour, we're getting close. No, gosh. This looks gonna suck. Well, going off of just that, it's going to be a rough ride for me. That being said, I'm kind of watching ultimately. So here on the 4 hour chart, I want to see either this high break, and I'll have to just take the L. Breaking this low, I think we're going to be good. A lot of time for the market opens in the morning. All right. So the Nasdaq. So nailed the absolute peak. Yeah, right here. I was up for a little bit. Didn't lock it in. Irrelevant. And I did add on to my short. And I mean the absolute top tick on that one too. Got in short, added on here. So I've been green and red, currently red right now by a few pennies on SQQQ on this right now. I wanted the leverage, but I also wanted it a lot slower moving, which is why I chose that instead of calls or my normal NASDAQ futures that I'm trading. Breaks below this zone, kicking my feet up on the desk. We break into this zone again. I'm going to have to just call it. I'm not going to fight this one forever or just take a bunch of losses. I even told my group last week, and it ended up being a close week. I essentially broke even last week. I told everybody I was going to be, it's probably going to be a red week, which is something I haven't had in a while. I did have had a couple of red days. I had a couple of hedges with NASDAQ contracts that did make up for some of this. But rough. Some sold calls, sold stuff. The options that I had sold actually ended up being one of the bigger winners last week. Because premiums were so juiced and they didn't go anywhere. So not only did I get all of that premium out of the contracts, my shares didn't go anywhere anyway, which usually if you're an option seller and it expires worthless, your shares did something. So that ended up holding me up. Those things got absolutely obliterated. Anybody that bought options last week, man, got decimated. At least the ones I was in. So shout out to the people who bought the contracts from me. Would have been a very red week without you. PPI and Powell speaks Tuesday morning. Let's hope he moves some things around. We'll let that refresh while we check this out. Okay, Forex play. A lot of people like the trend line break and retest. Not something I care about or trade. Maybe you have that, and that's why you're bullish. Again, right now, that trend currently doing just fine. The volume is a little bit light. Again, why I'm short is more a characteristics play than it is a anything on here. Not that I play head and shoulders, but there's just no like obvious shapes. Like someone with the basic knowledge of nothing, that even someone earlier in this video was like, "Oh, I like to draw imaginary lines." Probably has no idea what he's talking about or doing, and that's probably why he's red. And a lot of those guys right now, they see nothing. They might just see an uptrend. They might do better. Just this particular time, I don't know. It feels a little bit toppy. Being the one making the content, it makes things awkward because you're like, I'm short. You're like, why? No good reason other than I just feel like we need to be short. So it is more gut or intuition than probably anything else. A lot of this watching it live, these sell orders are coming in. Now we'll catch a bid the next day and we'll be right back up. But these sell orders are just dropping off, and I'm curious who didn't get the memo. Someone didn't get the memo, the shorts or the buyers. And when they do finally pick up, I do think there's a decent move. Now, if it's to the upside, I'll tag out. I'll take an L, and we'll move on. We'll regroup. If it's to the downside, we're rocking and rolling. Toppy, is that a technical term? I'm sure there's a guru out there that does that. I only opened 8 new trades last week rather than 20 to 25. Let's see. Busy spending time with family in Springfield. Are you still in Springfield? No, don't tell me I missed that. No. Come on back if you are. Come on back. All right, so last week we hit the expected move right to the dot and got a little bit pulled back. I've not updated these, so as far as the expected moves go, we'll have to look at that. Russell hit the speed bump zone, sold off, no big deal. This actually looks like if there's a dip buy out there, if you are, maybe even if you're as short as I am, and you want some long exposure right now, the Russell probably wouldn't be bad. It would take about 3 brain cells to take this trade. You'd go long here at the stop right below this wick. If that's going to be your high or low, you're going to be fine. No muss, no fuss. You'll have some long exposure. Let's check out some things. Oil, no. We still buying the shiny stuff? I will say buying the shiny stuff, it looks like a lot of people might be preparing. Let's go. Definitely don't need that big. Dang it. There we go. Oh, Lisa. Lisa brings up natural gas. Who, quick question. Who in my group took this long trade that we talked about last week? I would be long natural gas. Is specifically what I said. Here's my alert. Here's where I tagged right there and there. Here's where it's time to go long natural gas. Could have taken, 1, 2, 3 trades, just all zone to zone. Finally broke through, which we talked about. Oh man, I would have actually had a pretty decent week last week. I was too focused on it. So to clear things up, I go live every night for my group. I specifically said I would be long natural gas, and we talked about this. And I said natural gas is cheap. I think it's going to be not just this zone. I think we're going to be even higher still. But I guess I got sidetracked. I forgot and did not take the trade. Hang on. That's a blue zone. All right, this breaks up and out. I'm going to take that again. Blame Cody for missing that. Yeah, Cody, where was my alert? What good is having an assistant if the assistant is out here just making all the money without me? Come on, the guy starts winning trades, he just forgets what his job is? Just kidding. All right, let's check our stuff out real quick before we get to the group. Tuesday, we have PPI, Fed chair speech. You said that was in the morning. Wednesday, we have some more letters, CPI, and jobless claims. Banging. Powell speaking Sunday as well. So we got some letters, some news. It's gonna move things. So 30 minutes after market opens, Tuesday morning. So Monday probably going to be a whole lot of nothing. There will be a lot of hanging out. Monday mornings anyway, guys. If there's ever one thing my group has heard a whole bunch, because it's like Monday morning, like, Don, what are you taking? And I'm like, nothing. Let the banks get their coffee first. What's the rush? Every trade I take Monday morning, pre-market may be a swing trade. There's gonna be plenty of pre-markets and aftermarkets in there. But anything is at during that time, day trade wise, is just a gamble. And I'm not saying if you take it, it's a gamble, but if I'm taking it, it's because I'm like, man, let's see where this thing goes. Monday morning, it opens up and something shoots up. I grab a put. If it sells off, I grab a call. That's the caliber of trades I'm taking the first 30 minutes in the morning. So if you ask me with any serious or confidence, like, hey, what trades you taking? Like, I threw a dart this way. I wasn't wearing a blindfold. That's about all I can give you on that one. Mornings in general, Don's typically not up. No, I am. I am up. Friday morning, I specifically sleep to the bell because Fridays suck. Let's just do a couple of big names. See what's going on here. Tesla selling off. Got outside the expected moves. I haven't done the expected moves real quick, so I'll just shout them out. If you're paying attention, you'll know it. If you're in my group, I will we'll post it and you'll have the charts. The evening bell. No. Where'd that go? Come on. Why is it there? Let's get that out of here. It's saying my TOS is locked. It's driving me nuts. Uh-oh. There we go. Hang on. We're gonna give me 2 seconds, and we're gonna get this up and running. Hey, where'd that guy go anyway? I like making fun of people while we wait. GUNZ. He says, I like to draw imaginary levels and lines on my charts. Judging by the YouTube name. Well, makes sense to me. I remember when Don would get up early, work out, and breakfast, then trading. Gosh, he's lazy now. Don't say that. Yeah, that whole anxiety trip that I had really messed me up. It got me out of the gym. Right now, I wake up early just to hopefully get back into the mess of things. I'm trying to. He's getting old. No. My account is moving to Schwab. Come on, I can't just click do it later. All right, we might have to, if this takes 2 seconds, then I'll have your expected moves here real quick. Other than that, we're gonna have to call it. And if you have my charts, you'll have the updated ones by tonight. Because he made so much money, he doesn't have to do that anymore. I will say I do a lot. Do you want to allow public? Windows Firewall has blocked some features on Chromium. What is Chromium? Does that mean he pays someone to work out? Open TOS and click the cog in the lower left corner. I can't open TOS. It's making me go to what do I do? Confirm your identity. It's me, guys. Just come on. That's malware. Close that. Ignore it. I can just X out of this thing. No, it's my only window. Use TD Ameritrade login. There we go. I've been clicking like, nah, remind me later. Every time. All right. Come on. Expected moves in Discord. There we go. Now we're talking. Thank you, Steve. Where are we at? Monday through Friday. Expected moves. Okay. All right. So here's your expected moves. Guess I'm in the way. IWM, we're expecting 472. QQQ 749. S&P 684. That's actually all. Looks like QQQ is a little bit higher. Usually that one's right there with the S&P. A little bit off, but last week they were in the sixes. Tesla, we got at $8.10. Meta 14.23. Microsoft 9.28. Nothing there. Nvidia 41. That's pretty typical. Amazon's 5. I feel like that's a little bit high. Usually I feel like that's a dollar higher. Apple's high. That's usually nothing at 402. Google 609. Ford 39.5 cents. Palantir dollar move, which is pretty typical. Intel dollar. Netflix $22. Just shy of 23. Anyway, there's your expected moves. So if you have my charts, that will be updated. But are we rich again on Meta? We are. Shout out to anybody that bought Meta down here. I wonder how much we're going to play in this range right here. Let's see, NVIDIA's $40 expected move. So that's going to put it. That's really going to put NVIDIA at one of these two zones right here. We're back inside this range again. And then earnings is next week. So a whole lot of nothing. Looks like we got some letters this week. And that's it. Steve to the rescue. I owe Don big time. Don't owe me anything. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap it up here. I'll see y'all beautiful people on the next stream. Should be Tuesday if you hit the notification bell. And any other time I go live, it'll be up to you getting the notification. That's that. So subscribe, do the cool stuff, and I'll see you guys later. Have a good one.